In our previous video, we talked about the arrival of luxury chalets in the Dolomites and our careful audit of them. And there are a few stunners amongst the also-rans, so if you didn't watch that one, then you can link to it in this YouTube channel or on our website. Continuing the Dolomites and Alpine theme in this video, I'd like to show you a few of the superb mountain spa hotels. And you're not going to want to miss this one because many of them, quite frankly, are spectacular. The Veneto, Dolomites and Alps are where spa hotels originate, and when combined with Swiss hotel school training, the best cuisines of Europe and exquisite taste refined over 100 or so years, you can expect a product pretty close to perfection. They come in many shapes and sizes, but generally speaking, you have either the original romantic period building, cleverly designed to incorporate state-of-the-art facilities, or the fabulous modern architectural tour de force. All of them set amidst Mother Nature's best work, of course. Dramatic peaks, forest-clad mountains, lakes, a high-altitude pasture, and views into infinity. So, probably worth a look. As destination hotels, there are many ways you can use them. Jump in your GT sports car of choice and visit 2 or 3 of them on an Alpine itinerary. Or take a few days and relax in just one of them. Unplug, spa, exercise in the crystal mountain air. Personally, I like shamelessly to enjoy the Epicurean delights of restaurant and wine cellar. The backdrop of breathtaking vistas somehow makes everything taste even better, and even my conversations seem witty. So, let's jump in the Aston in Verona and drive north. There are lovely properties on all the Italian lakes, Orta and Maggiore, perhaps the most beautiful, Como and Lugano, but we'll cover these in a subsequent video, and for now we'll motor straight up the left-hand side of Lake Garda to Le Fay. Oh, just a quick note on luxury car rental. Yes, it is pricey, but you probably don't drive a Dacia at home. And this is a holiday after all. There are some of the best driving roads in the world here, so it's another facet of your trip to enjoy. And this is the aspect you probably hadn't considered. If you roll up to an Italian hotel in a Ferrari, for example, you'll get better service throughout your stay. The chances are they'll bump you up to even a better suite, and for all these reasons, I'd suggest you get much more value in return than the £600 a day car rental cost. Just a thought. And anyway, halfway up the lake, when you turn left and climb the series of spectacular hairpin bends, that extra horsepower and exhaust noise will put a huge grin on your face. Anyway, Le Fay sits 2,000 feet above the lake and makes the most of these breathtaking views from all over the hotel. But the effect at the infinity pool ruins the term infinity pool for almost every other hotel in the world. The spa here is world class. 4,300 square meters of treatment rooms, beauty, fitness, pools, steams. There's even a subterranean grotto. For anything from relaxation to taking a wellness course for a specific goal in mind. There are lovely walks and hikes, several cultural attractions nearby, and a great day can be spent marauding up and down the lake in one of the skippered Lido speedboats. But, tearing ourselves away, we should drive 2 hours up the lake and into the Dolomites proper, to Le Fay's sister hotel. Here we are amongst steep forested hillsides, looking down the valley. Again, the spa, 5,000 square meters, is sensational. And I should say that at both properties, the service and cuisine are also superb. These properties are not sanatoria by any means, and this goes for the rest of them, and the gastronomic possibilities are very interesting. Continuing north for 3 hours through Bolzano, we find the Forestis. And now we're in ski territory of Bolzano province. High mountain pasture surrounded by forest and mountain tops. In fact, I think I'd recommend a winter visit here. The hotels actually ski in, ski out, and with the longest valley run, itinerary run, in the southern Tyrol. Snowshoeing, ski touring, and then return to your fabulous spa, superb cuisine and stunning winter wonderland views. Next up is Vigilo, 90 minutes west, just outside Murano. You have to leave the car in the private parking down the hill and take the cable car. Surrounded by forest on the verdant slopes of Mount Vigilo, the hotel architecture blends it with nature very well and channels sunlight in mesmerizing ways. There is a lovely spa, and chef Daniel Sanin will astonish you with his cuisine. The 9-course tasting menu should not be missed, but then perhaps a nice mountain walk afterwards. We have a longer drive now, west into Switzerland, 4.5 hours to the 7132 hotel. A fascinating drive through Davos, Klosters and Chur, before turning left and taking the 20-kilometer road which leads eventually to Vals. At the end of the road, Peter Zumthor's architectural marvel is a real statement, and the spa block built over the natural thermal spring is magnificent. Peter brought in a further busload of internationally acclaimed architects to design different spaces within the hotel, and the result is a feast for the senses, complemented by several magnificent dining venues, orchestrated by chefs Matthias Schmidberger and Marcel Wollen. 7132 then goes on to offer some pretty unique experiences. Thermal baths in the dark, some very nice Epicurean treats, and then, because they have a helicopter, heli-transfer skiing, champagne or lunch on a mountaintop, or a flight over to a private club members-only grotto, who knew that was even a thing, for lunch. Allegedly, this is one of Switzerland's best-kept grotto restaurant secrets. I mean, this is definitely an area of future research for your private travel PA. Time to jump back in the motor and head west again through some epic alpine scenery and the switchback climb up to Andermatt, where we should turn north to Lake Lucerne and arrive 2.5 hours later at the Park Hotel Witznau on the northern shore. Lake Lucerne is spectacularly beautiful in its many moods, and at the next two properties opposite each other across the lake, we have excellent examples of the iconic period palace-style hotel and the spectacular cliffside, architecturally modern hotel spa. The incomparable, easy for you to say, Park Hotel Witznau, fairy tale perfect, with the lake's waters lapping around its feet, in superb position on its own little promontory looking up and down the lake. Its 1903 exterior belies the fantastic modern facilities within, and I'm not using adjectives lightly when I say they have likely the best spa, the best bars and the best restaurants you will ever find in a hotel. A wine cellar of 35,000 bottles, one of the largest in Switzerland, including a complete collection of Chateau Yquem since 1890. No expense was spared in the design and fitting out of rooms and suites, and from every window is an utterly captivating lake view. It's hotel perfection. And you should probably let us send you there at least once as part of a European trip. Your private travel PA is at your disposal. A short 1-hour drive around the lake brings us to the Bergenstock. Perched high on the cliffside, you gaze down on the lake from a superior Bond villain perspective. The modern additions to the hotel are extensive and dominate one's impression of it. But in fact, the core of the property is even older than Witznau at 1879, pretty much when hotels were invented. And so at Bergenstock you get the Belle Epoque combined with the spectacular and contemporary in a lovely kind of juxtaposition. Built by an engineer hotelier, it was a marvel in its day, still is. The spa and restaurant literally suspended 500 meters above the lake, along with the Diamond Dome tennis courts, and there's a 9-hole golf course too. From Lucerne, take the private catamaran to the bottom of the historic funicular, up to the hotel, and then shoot up to the very top of the mountain on the Hammetschwand lift. 10 restaurants, lounges and bars across every cuisine. Try the signature Pekin duck in the famous Spices restaurant, cantilevered above the glittering water. And there are so many things that you could easily do, spend 4 nights or more. But it's time to be off, southwest towards Gingelwald and the Eiger, along the lake, through Interlaken and Spiez, and then south towards Stade, but peeling off left through Saint-Stéphane to the end of the road and Lenk im Simmental. The Lenkerhof sits in this beautiful high mountain valley. The original bathhouse was here over 350 years ago, but it's now become a contemporary chic gourmet spa. There is an excellent spa and 2 great restaurants. The bar, cigar lounge and wine cellar should not be missed, and you can hike and bike it off in the gorgeous surrounds afterwards. There's a gym too. This is a cozy property, Relais Chateau, so you know the ambiance is just perfect, and a really nice retreat. 3 nights, winter or summer. The final leg of our journey takes us west through Bulle and down towards Montreux on Lake Geneva. But we turn off early to Vevey and the Hôtel des Trois Corons. Here, since 1842, this lovely period property makes the most of its lakeside setting and regal character to charm and pamper you in restaurants and spa, whilst in Vevey, Montreux and around Lake Geneva there are endless pursuits for body and mind. We'll wrap it up here for now, leave the car at Geneva Airport and jet home. But I hope this gives you an idea of what's up there in them there mountains, and roughly where they are in relation to each other. The distance is not as far as you might have thought. I'm not suggesting you should actually put 9 hotels together in this way, or you really would need a spa, if not a sanatorium afterwards, on a strict rice and water diet. But you could join up 2 or 3. As I've said before, your private travel PA is here at your disposal to book your perfect alpine trip. Just drop us a line.